Welcome to The Explainer. You know, there's this incredible battle happening inside your head every single second of every day. And today, we're going to dive into it. The conflict between your two minds.
All right, let's start with something you probably experienced. Ever learn a new word, or maybe you notice a specific kind of car for the very first time, and then suddenly, bam, you start seeing it everywhere. What is going on there?
So no, it's not magic. And sorry, it's probably not the universe sending you a secret sign. It's actually a well-known cognitive quirk called the frequency illusion. And this is our first big clue that your brain isn't just this passive camera recording reality. Oh no, it's actively editing it.
So to really get a handle on this ghost in the machine, this little editor in our heads, we first need to appreciate the incredible hardware it's running on. Okay, so get this. Your brain is an absolute energy hog. I mean, think about it. It's only about 2% of your total body weight, but it devours a staggering 20% of all your body's energy. All that just to power its 86 billion neurons. It's wild.
So, to deal with being such an energy glutton, this super powerful organ had to come up with a clever workaround, a shortcut for how it thinks. And thankfully, psychologists like the brilliant Daniel Kahneman have given us a fantastic model that explains this whole thing perfectly. It's basically like you have two different minds coexisting in your head. First, you've got System 1. Think of this as your autopilot. It's fast, it's automatic, it's totally intuitive, it's always on, making those quick gut reaction judgments. Then you have System 2. This is the pilot. It's slow, it's deliberate, it's analytical. You have to consciously fire this one up, and it takes real effort. This is what you use for the hard stuff, the complex problems.
And this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. Because here's the crazy truth. Most of the time, our speedy, intuitive autopilot, our System 1, is the one in charge. It makes the decision in a split second. And only after that do we bring in the heavy machinery, our slow, deliberate pilot, System 2, basically just to come up with a good story to rationalize a choice that was already made.
Now don't get me wrong, relying on this autopilot is super efficient. It has to be. But it also comes with some built-in glitches. You can think of them as predictable errors in our thinking, and we call them cognitive biases.
Okay, a classic example? Confirmation bias. You know what this is. It's where we go looking for information that proves what we already believe. And at the same time, we get really good at ignoring or dismissing anything that might challenge us. It's really just our brain trying to keep our world simple and comfortable.
And hey, it makes sense, right? We all like to be right. This bias feels good. It makes us feel smart and reinforces our view of the world. But here's the problem. The downside is that it traps us in a filter bubble, and it stops us from ever seeing the full, messy, objective picture.
Okay, here's another glitch you'll definitely recognize. Hindsight bias. This is that classic, I knew it all along feeling you get after something has already happened. You know, after the stock market tanks or your favorite team pulls off a surprise win, it suddenly feels like it was totally obvious from the start. But here's the crucial thing to understand. This bias is like a mental cheat code. It lets us rewrite history to make ourselves look way smarter than we actually were in the moment. And by doing that, it completely robs us of the chance to learn from our real mistakes and our past uncertainties.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the glitches. But System 1 isn't just a machine full of bugs. No way. It's also the source of our most powerful, most incredible insights. When you train it properly, we call it something else, intuition.
And again, this isn't some mystical, magical force. It's pure pattern recognition, working at lightning speed. Intuition is just expertise that's become so internalized, it feels like instinct. Think about a seasoned firefighter who just feels that a building is about to collapse, or a chess grandmaster who sees the winning move in a flash. That's not magic. That's thousands of hours of experience being processed by System 1 in an instant.
And here's the really cool part. You can actually train your intuition. You can make your autopilot a better pilot. So how do you do it? Well, first, test your intuition. When you get a gut feeling, don't just ignore it. Make a little mental note and then check back later to see if you were right. Second, you gotta feed it. The more patterns your brain has to work with, the better it gets. So explore new things, learn new skills. And finally, reflect. Look back at your big decisions. When did your gut serve you well, and when did it lead you astray? This is how you turn that autopilot from a potential liability into a seriously powerful partner.
But what's truly fascinating, and kind of mind-blowing, is that this cutting-edge psychological model, well, it isn't new at all. Not even close.
In fact, you can find this exact same idea echoing in ancient philosophy from thousands of years ago.
Yeah, I'm talking about thousands of years ago. Ancient Vedic philosophy described the mind, what they called the microbody, as being split into two distinct layers. There was a gross part, which is basically our conscious everyday awareness, and then there was a subtle part, which is that deeper subconscious self.
There's this incredible metaphor from an ancient scripture that describes two birds on a tree. So the tree represents the body. One of the birds is super busy, hopping around, eating all of the fruit. That bird is the one that's acting, doing, experiencing life. But the other bird, it just sits there quietly. It simply watches, it observes, it reflects, and it remembers.
And right there, that's when the parallel becomes absolutely crystal clear. That busy, fruit-eating bird, that's the gross mind. It's our fast, experiencing System 1. And the quiet, watchful bird, that's the subtle mind. It's our slow, reflective System 2. It is the exact same idea, the same core concept, just separated by thousands of years of human history. Isn't that incredible?
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Just understanding that you have these two systems at play, this impulsive actor and this wise observer, that's the first, most critical step. Because once you see the two birds on the tree, once you recognize the pilot and the autopilot, that's when you can finally stop being a passenger and start taking the controls to consciously pilot your own mind.